Welcome, fans of wrestling, and thanks for joining us here on MCC TV. Alongside Mike McKelly, I'm Craig Christensen, and we are at the Bartels Rody Gymnasium tonight for the MCC Muskegon Community College Wrestling Duels. Tonight, national rankings are on the line. The Jayhawks are ranked 19th in the country, and they're first going to take on Niagara, who's ranked 10th in the country, and when they're done with them, they'll take on the 9th-ranked Titans. Are they the Titans? Trojans. Tonight, we have a purple out, Mike.
What is purple out there, Craig?
Purple out is, you'll notice the Jayhawks are dressed in purple. Lots of the fans are dressed in purple. We're dressed in purple. What
we have going on tonight is this is in support of Rick Stenberg's fight against pancreatic cancer. Purple is the color for the battle against pancreatic cancer. Rick is a local wrestler from back in the day. Two of his sons are actually on the Jayhawks team this year, Cody and Tyler Stenberg. Rick was a local standout. He was a conference champion here, wrestled for Orchard View in Muskegon County, and was a conference champion. Was a state qualifier, came through and a big supporter of the sport. So we're out here tonight dressed in purple to help support him in his fight.
Well, it's just that he is a big supporter of the sport. You know, he's always, if his boys are wrestling, you don't have to look far to find him. But he supports the sport. And, of course, we wish him the best and wish him well in his fight. We know he's a fighter.
And tonight, tonight being it's a cold, windy night in the beginning of November, which can only mean one thing, that it's not football playoff season, but it's wrestling season starting here. So we're here to get things going tonight. Like you said, we have a big battle going on between the 19th ranked Jayhawks against Niagara's number 10 ranking. So,
Mike, for a lot of these kids, call them kids, they're 18, 19-year-old young men, standouts in high school, coming in, the Jayhawks coming in right into a big match. You know, they're taking on some teams that are rivals that are ranked higher than them. And these guys this time last year were starting their senior years in high school. What goes through a young man's mind just before his first college wrestling match?
Well, it's a big change just going from high school to college anyway, and especially coming in with you get the butterflies going, get everything going with these kids coming out and having to fend for themselves, almost going from the structure of what would be high school, coming into college and changing that structure around to being accountable for yourself and going back out there. So there's some nerves going. They come in with a pretty good battle, having to go against Niagara and having to go against Triton, starting off with two, like you said, 10 and 9. So these are going to be some tough battles tonight that they have to go through.
Yes, they are. In high school, it's always nice you have your mom, your dad to help you manage your weight, to keep you on top of your training. But for a lot of these guys, it's their first time away from home. They're living on their own for the first time. And that's huge. Style-wise, though, can you talk at all about how the college game, just in the physicality element, is different and what some of these kids are in for?
Well, what you go from being a senior in high school is you go from being one of these guys that are on the mat for the Jayhawks. A lot of them have been state placers, state champions, 2-time state champions, 3-time state champions. You go from being a big fish in your high school to coming out here where at the community college level that you're going against state champions from different states, state champions on your own team from that in your own weight class that you have to battle to find a spot. So just coming there is a huge step. So the competition and the level of competition that you have to face just every day in your own room is a huge step.
You talk about the competition in the wrestling room. A lot of these guys were the big fish on their team and would have to struggle to find a workout partner who could challenge them in high school, in their high school rooms. Certainly not a problem here in the Jayhawk wrestling room, is it?
No, it isn't. As you hear when we go through these lineups tonight, you're going to hear some pretty amazing records and pretty amazing stats from last year. And the Jayhawks did a great job recruiting. And what I like to see, and it's probably true of a lot of community colleges, that they recruited a lot of local talent. And there's quite a few kids on this Jayhawk team that that come locally, and so their parents will be here to watch them. They will have some family support, so they're able to come in here and compete at that level just in their own backyard, and I think that's great.
Oh, of course it is. Some in the Mark and Coach Gaffner and Coach Tiedema, they were able to find some diamonds here locally. Lots of talent. Kids I'd call blue chippers coming from right around the Muskegon County, in the Muskegon County area and around the area.
Oh, there are for sure. Two-time, three-time state champions on that team that have to battle each other every day just to get a spot. So it's amazing the level of where they're at and what we're going to see tonight. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the season to get going. It's a good group of kids. They're excited for it. Watching them practice, watching them go through the weigh-in and getting their very first college weigh-in out of the way. It's going to be a good night of wrestling for sure.
Well, they'll have to find another gear. Some of these guys are going to wrestle college sophomores who are ranked in the country. Who are we going to start with tonight?
At 125?
125.
125 from Niagara.
I say 125 like that's a done deal. I know that when you said at 125, you were really checking to see where you're starting.
125 sounds like the best place to start to me. So with the Thunderwolves from Niagara, we have Cody Carberry. He's a sophomore. Cody's coming in, and Cody's going to wrestle from Muskegon, Devon Dodgens. And Devon is a freshman from Remus Chip Hill, so this will be his first college match against a veteran sophomore.
You think back to your first match of the season, every year, high school, college, you can be in the best shape that you want to be in, but that first match is always tough. It's almost like blowing the carbon out of a carburetor, isn't it?
Oh, I tell you, you get back out on that mat, you're going, you hardly remember it. You can't feel your feet when you're walking because your stomach's turning every which way it can, and then you get out there, and it takes you a good couple seconds to get things going, or at least until you get popped in the mouth one time, and then you realize this is for real.
So you just need an attention getter sometimes. Looks like we're getting ready to go.
All right.
The official Eric Heberstreet takes the center of the mat. You're going to do captain
Looks like we're pulling
introductions first.
Our captains out. That's exactly what we have going on here. Little coin flip to see odd or even matches. Who gets to present to the table first? As the official Eric Heberstreet's going to go over a couple finer points of his officiating for the evening.
Tell them what they can do, what not to do, no eye gouging.
No eye gouging. Make sure those fingernails are cut. No scratching anybody's back, pulling their hair.
We got a physical match going on right in front of us between Mott and Grand Valley. We saw the Mott young man in a tight front headlock with his tongue hanging out. And speaking of more physicality than in high school, he's getting choked off a little bit.
That's one way to come into your first match of the season is for somebody to slap that choke on you, make you realize that they're gonna pull down on that head a little bit harder than they did maybe last year.
Well, and that's the officials at this level will let some stuff go. They'll allow you to be a little bit more physical at this level, won't they?
Well, you're not choking until you're choking, they say. So
you're not choking until you're choking.
So until then, it's not illegal.
Dodgens versus Carberry. Carberry was a two-time place winner out of New York.
At the New York sectionals, yeah, that's what I was told. He's a two-timer, which out in New York they wrestle things a little bit differently than they do here in Michigan. But their sectionals are very competitive. Of course, they have a few more people in New York just in general. Looks like we're ready to get things rolling here. Devon, again, the freshman from Muskegon in the yellow and blue. And then Carberry from Niagara wearing the multicolored blue singlet. In college wrestling, the first period is 3 minutes, then 2 minutes second period, 2 minute third period. They have riding time, advantage time. That will come into play today. And that's a lot of these wrestlers, that will be their first time with the experience of riding time, meaning that they don't have it in high school. So
Dodgen's forcing that tie. Looks pretty physical. He's digging that hook in there.
yeah, he's moving well, especially like we were talking about before, for being his first college match. He's coming in fighting for position. Nice. He's in on a single leg. He's changing off to a double here. He needs to switch over and drive across. There he goes, and that should be 2. There it is.
Takedown.
2 takedown. Nice takedown for Devon's first match.
Lots of pressure on top. He did come up to his base. Carberry did, but Dodgens had nice pressure over there on the side of the mat.
Yeah, we're about a minute into his first match. Looks like he settled in well.
Of course, we know Coach Brunger likes the tilt series. I wonder if some of these new kids have taken to that tilt series. Of course, it's just where you're trying to turn your guy into a position where you're scoring back points. There's an escape.
There's an escape for Cody. He's gonna come out for 1. Devon looks pretty comfortable on his feet. The freshman out of Chip Hills.
Nice counter.
There he is back on the legs, and that's 2. So he'll get this takedown here. Work his way up. Counter. He moves really well for a freshman out there.
I always like to see a young man who can he's light on his feet, but he can also score off another guy's shot.
It's about constant movement, getting things in there and making things happen. He's going to come out to the ankle, pick it up. He's going to have to move his way up. There he goes. Climbs up.
Doesn't look like he's quite as willing to concede that escape point here as he was in the last exchange.
Well, he just gained advantage time, which is riding your man for a minute. So we're going to take a little injury time. Looks like Cody popped his elbow.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to pressure him over that elbow, and I don't know if Carberry's hand stuck on the mat, but it looked like he went against the joint there a little bit. Certainly unintentional.
We have about 37 seconds left in that first period, and Devon's riding. He's got the 1-point advantage, so right now his score should be 4-1 with the 1-point riding advantage, assuming that it stays that way. So he's well in control of this match. Looks to be in pretty good shape too for a freshman. That's always a concern coming in.
Hey, he's not breathing too hard right now, so that's good.
No,
looks like he's ready to go.
So he's really doing well.
We'll see if he goes to work on that left arm or right arm of Carberry's.
He's giving him the 1-point escape, letting him go to his feet. So that makes this 4-2. He does a good job gaining that inside control, keeping Carberry on his defense a little bit.
For that high crotch again that he hit earlier in the first period.
That was nice. He moves well, getting him moving side to side. We're coming down to short time left in the first period, about 15 seconds.
Carberry's tried just a level change fake, and Dodgens isn't falling for it. He looks like he has a lot of confidence in his ability to counter.
It shows his experience out there too. Even though he's a freshman, he's been able to move real well. So it looked like at the start of the second period, he's going to defer, and Carberry's going to choose down.
Tries a little roll there, scores his 1.
He gets his escape there. I'd like to see some of that explosiveness that he was showing there in the beginning of the first period from Devon to go after Darbury.
He's really about one high crotch away from putting this thing out. There he is.
There it is, right? Just
with the doctor almost.
No sooner you say it than he's in on it. Get that leg free, turn around, there's your 2. So he gets his 2 takedown. We'll go working on the wrist, running a little bit of spiral, buying some time, rack up that advantage time. With just over a minute left in the second period. He's going to have to work to turn him. The official will call him for stalling. He's got that wrist right. And
he does have the cross wrist. Maybe he'll try that tilt series. He got a little bit high up on his chest, though.
Well, that'll keep him out to the side, too. If nothing else, it'll give the appearance of trying to turn him. He's running that bundle. He lets it go. He's coming back goes back to the backside of him, running a half, spiral it out. Staying behind, he's staying well in control in this match. This is all you really want to do when you're riding that lead. Carberry's going to have to be careful with that Granby roll, that it doesn't get stacked up like that.
Well, that's the second time Carberry's tried that same little roll. It worked the first time. Looked like Devon got a little bit loose. Did not work that time.
Got to be careful going to a well too many times on that one before it gets figured out. We're back to 5 seconds left in that second period, and he's got a 2 minute riding advantage. So to start the second, we're score is 6-3.
Wants to go neutral.
Dodging.
Lots of confidence on his feet.
Well, he should be. He's got 3 takedowns to Cody's 0 takedown, so he's in control of the match. I think it's a good choice in his part.
I think so too. As long as he doesn't try to coast his way through the end of the match. That was a physical little snap down try there by Carberry.
No, and what a lot of guys too coming in as freshmen don't realize that they went from being on teams of 14 to teams of 10. So anytime you can get bonus points in college is going to help your team win. So we just got that stalling call on Niagara backing up. So he's been warned for stalling. But now's the time that Dodgens is going to want to go after him and try to rack up some points. In effect, he's got a 4-point advantage with his riding time. He's about 10 seconds away from that being official. So in doing that,
I like the way Dodgens.
There he is. Nice double. Goes right in on a double.
Great.
Take him down. Let's get some back points.
Almost had back points.
He's locking up that cradle. There's his 2.
He's got that cradle locked up.
He's got to get that turn. If he gets that turn, that'll put him into the advantage. No near fall points there, so he's going to cut him loose. I like what he's doing here. He's been able to take him down relatively well. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left with 40 seconds, but at least he's going for that major decision.
Well, he was just an eyelash away from going feet to back there.
He was too. He had it stacked up nice. There's his 1 point for another stalling call. So now a takedown puts him in a major.
Carberry really respects that shot of Dodgens.
Well, after being taken down 4 times, that has a tendency to do that. He's a veteran. He's a sophomore. He knows where he's at. So my guess is he's going to keep on stalling. He'd rather give up the 1 than the 2, and that's what goes on.
That was smart.
It was smart. That was a good match for the freshman from Muskegon. Coming in he's got a 9-4 victory. It's a great way to start.
This is a good start.
Here we are at 133 pounds, and looks like already checked in is Eric Velez from Niagara, from the Niagara Thunderwolves, going against a local guy, Zach Cooper from Muskegon.
Speaking of blue chippers.
Speaking of blue chippers, for sure. Zach comes in, a 3-time state champion. That's not something you see every day here in Michigan.
No.
Coming out of high school as one of the area's best last year. That's a big pickup for the Jayhawks to get Zach in the room. So we'll see how he does here.
There's a shot right off the whistle, almost gets to it. Nice little scramble there.
Velez is a freshman for the Thunderwolves out of Medina, New York. So we have 2 freshmen going against each other.
Zach's going to have to close the distance a little bit on that shot. That was from quite a ways, and Velez saw that one coming.
It's the start of the match. It's working some kinks out. He's got a nice sweeping single in there, doubling off. There's just 2. So he comes in with a nice takedown to start the match.
That was a good one.
It's always good to get that first one out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Get things going in the right direction. It's a lot easier to come from ahead than behind. Zach's going to take the top position. Now Zach's he's familiar with these tilts too. So.
Well, he had him pretty close to pinned there. I know the camera angle couldn't have caught it, but Niagara wrestle was flat for a few seconds.
That's 3 near fall, and he's going again. This is nice. This is a great way to start.
There's the fall.
And there's a fall.
And speaking of bonus points,
1 minute in.
That's a pretty good start against a number 10 ranked team.
That's it. Things are looking pretty good right now for the Jayhawks. This is going well. Jayhawks jump out to a 9-0 lead. That's going to move us into the 141-pound match. We have Cody Stenberg for the Jayhawks. And Cody's going to wrestle Marcus Potts for the Thunderwolves.
Stenberg physical on his opponent's head. There's a headlock.
Oh, that's a nice headlock for Stenberg.
He's getting back. He's scoring back points. Only got 2 back points out of that headlock. Started really physical on his opponent's head.
He's going to stay on that front headlock too. He's going to try to chin whip it around.
He's going to get him too.
He's got it. That should be near fall there. Well, he's got a 2. There's another 2 near fall. That's a great way to start a match for Cody. Cody's another local wrestler out of Reese Puffer High School here in Muskegon. Another great recruit. Cody's dad is the one we were talking about at the beginning of the match.
Yep, Dad's right above him in the bleachers there, always shouting support.
So he's up here. It's still on the head. Cody likes to work that head and underhooks. He's going to work his way in. He's another explosive wrestler on his feet. Just when you think he might be out of position, he's coming in for the score, so he's fun to watch.
A nice counter.
There's another 2, a snap down 2.
Trying to get that wing in.
He's
now a half.
Working a half. He'll spiral it out a little bit. There he goes. Marcus looks like he's dying on the vine a little bit out there. He's only 2 minutes into this match, and he's struggling here.
He's leaving his head on the mat. That's typically not a good sign as a coach. You really want to see your guy with his head laying on the mat.
And Cody sinks those legs in, getting some more near fall here. He's working for the fall.
He got it.
And there it is. That is a great way to start the match tonight. 2 minutes, 15 seconds into that first period. Nice fall. Great job, Cody.
Well, he started out with bonus points with 2 out of the first 3 matches, almost all 3 of them. And that's what you want to see.
Especially against a number 10 ranked team in the country.
That's right.
You come in 15-0 lead. This is a good way to start the match. At 149, we have Elvis Peacock for the Jayhawks. And he's going to wrestle. It looks like he's wrestling Kevin Strong for Niagara here. We're going to get a little clarification on who's wrestling here, but we know for sure Elvis Peacock's walking out there for the Jayhawks in the yellow and the blue and gold, and then the multicolored blue of the Thunderwolves. Elvis is another freshman out of Chip Hills. We've seen the first Chip Hills wrestler, Devon Dodgens, tonight go off for a nice victory. We'll see if we can get another Chip Hills wrestler to do the same.
Have all 3 wrestlers been freshmen, or is Stenberg a sophomore?
Stenberg's a freshman.
3 freshmen so far.
3 freshmen.
Wow.
I think Cody comes in as a redshirt freshman.
Uh-oh.
There's 2 takedown for the Thunderwolves. That's the first takedown for the Thunderwolves out of the 4 matches tonight. So we've been doing well here tonight for the Jayhawks. And I think Kevin there for the Thunderwolves is going to stay in the back. Just kind of work the wrists, work the arms, stay in position, work on his advantage time here. We need to explode off a little bit from the bottom there.
Peacock's got him a little high.
He does have him high, but he's got that half in there. There you go. Shake him down. Swim it out. He's pulling that leg on there. He needs to be creating some space so he can move a little bit to get those legs out. He's got the body scissors locked on pretty tight. And
before he found himself in that leg ride, he might come out of there.
He still can work off the bottom. The official's letting him wrestle his way out. He's got to swim that off a little bit.
Trying to step over Strong's head. He's going to come out of there.
He's going to have to swim it out to get there, and there's
2 reversal.
He's got a 2 reversal.
Okay.
Before he scored that reversal, before he got that leg ride in, he was doing a nice job of getting his hips up, but he wasn't moving them.
No, he was getting in there, but he wasn't creating enough space to get out from underneath. Oh, he's got it in the Peterson Granby right now, and there's going to be 2 more reversal. So Kevin Strong from Niagara has got a 4-2 lead. And he has advantage time right now by 30 seconds. And he's pulled in for a tilt.
College rules a little bit different than high school rules. You can score back points even if your opponent's shoulders are out of bounds as long as something's inbound, right?
As long as something's inbounds, your shoulders can be anywhere. If they're exposed to the mat, they're counting.
So if there are high school kids, wrestlers watching this match, they might be wondering how the Niagara wrestler was scoring back points, but that's the deal in college. Score back points anywhere on the mat.
You keep your belly down.
Keep your belly down.
Do you see if he gave him 2 or 3 near fall?
That was 2.
2?
Peacock's going down. We're going to look for some more hip movement, try to get some space down there.
He's going to have to get going off that whistle so not to let those legs as Kevin Strong come in there. He's already a point down with the advantage time, and he's there wasn't any explosiveness coming off the bottom there on that whistle. So
Strong trying to set that leg ride up with a spiral ride, and he looks like he got him in.
he's got him in. He's exposing his back. He's got to keep him down there for a minute. There you go. Reach over for the head. Arches back as hard as he can. He's in a headlock, but he's got to break that grip, and there it is. That's it. That's one. It should be one there.
Comes out in pretty good position with the front headlock.
It should be.
You got him.
He gave him 2 reversal.
Didn't you make that move up?
Well, you do with what the Lord gave you. That was about as far as we could get. You
I think I've seen you do that move a couple of times.
Right here on this gym floor, as a matter of fact. Got a great Polaroid of it.
What's that?
Got a great Polaroid of it.
Got a Polaroid of it.
So
now he's applying some pressure with those hips, keeping his opponent's hips on the mat. I like the way he's riding that leg series now.
He's riding that crossbody legs, and that's driving across. That's great. Working that Turk. He's got to work some of those advantage time off there, and he's doing that. He's got to watch his weight. He's getting a little high.
Yeah, I'd like to see him keep Strong's hips on the mat.
He's still got both hooks in. Work his weight back.
Mr. Herbstreit's demonstrated he'll let a kid wrestle out of there.
He has for sure all night long. He's gonna keep it the same.
He's hoping for a stalemate, but I don't think we're gonna get it. And there's a reversal.
Strong's got his 2 reversal. And Peacock just got a little too high there, and they were able to pull him across. We're back at short time with 5 seconds left in that second period. Right now the score is 8-4. And Strong from Niagara has the riding advantage of 18 seconds. He's going to take down. So we're going to need Peacock to keep Strong down on the mat for longer than 18 seconds to eliminate that advantage time.
Peacock throwing those legs in again from a pretty loose spot.
He is. He's coming across for the splits. He's going to hold his weight back there, and he's going to work that down. He's got another 6 seconds to go. He's got to watch his weight, stay underneath those arms. Right now he's over the top. He's working the power half, but he's riding his weight a little bit high. He's going to have to stay back a little bit, get that other leg in or get it back. So right now he's riding a single leg on him. He's doing good. He's eliminated that 1-point advantage, but he's going to have to score some points to win this match.
He's doing a good job now keeping his opponent on the mat. Is that a stalling call? Is that where we stopped it?
I missed it. So he's.
I didn't see it either.
Either a stalling call or a stalemate. Either way, they're going to go to a restart. And Strong from Niagara. Granby rolled out, and that's a 2 reversal. Right now the score is 8-4, and he's working on some near fall points, so he's going to be adding to that lead.
Yeah, Strong's got 2 now from the tilt, and of course there he has the other leg in. How far are we from bonus points going the other way?
Well, right now he's in the bonus, especially with that 1-point advantage. So right now he has 4 points for his team if the score stays the same. We have 30 seconds here. Peacock can still do some damage, come back. He's reaching back, he's in that half. This is not the position you want to be in. It's a loose position, but I don't think he'll make a fall here, but he's definitely going to pick up those bonus points. And there's 3 more near fall.
Well, you just, with short time, want Peacock to wrestle tough through the end. That's a tough one.
With a score of 15 plus the 1, so you get the score 16-4. Best I can tell. So the Niagara Thunderwolves are on the board. The Jayhawks are leading the match right now. Score 15-3.
Well, you don't think of wrestling as a sport of momentum, but you certainly don't want to let things get away from you now after our first 3 matches, winning in the convincing fashion that we did. I'm going to go right back out there, make another statement, and get this thing back under control.
No, you definitely do not. And if you take a look, speaking of momentum, the first 3 matches for the Jayhawks, they came out and they were the first ones to score. They got the first takedown off the bat, and then the Thunderwolves come out there and they get the first takedown. They win that match. Not saying that's indicative of every time that somebody gets their hand raised, but more times than not that you'll see the first person to score is going to be the first one to win. It's a whole lot easier staying ahead of the game than it is fighting from behind.
And especially with these young guys that being their first match, and you go out there and you score first, it takes a world of pressure off you. You go out there and find yourself behind by 2 or 4 or 5, and then it feels like you got to play catch up, because you do. It just adds so much more pressure. It takes you out of your game.
It does, and the Jayhawks are putting another freshman out there. We have Jason Peacock this time coming out there wrestling. He's wrestling against the seasoned sophomore of Tyler Bruce from Niagara. So he's wrestling tough. He's working that head. He's a little deep in there. He's got Bruce from Niagara has the elbow and is trying to pop under and get to his legs. But like we talked about before too, those first 30 seconds of that match, there's a lot of nerves floating around. But Peacock from Chip Hills, he's a good wrestler that they were able to pick up for the Jayhawks to come back in and try to score some more points.
That was a nice little reshot there. Didn't score, but
now they both
penetrated.
Oh, nice shot. Slide by right to behind, scoop behind. There's his 2. That's a great way to start the match.
That was a nice combination of moves. He countered Bruce's shot with a reshot, stalled out, and then had that little pass by. That was a nice little series.
Well, so many guys do that. They'll come in for a shot and they won't get it. Oh, Bruce is a horse. He just picked them both up, got back to his feet. Nice, goes back in a leg. Yeah, Peacock. There's a lot of action going on here with Peacock diving back towards the leg. And there's no change in control here. We're going out of bounds, and we're still in control. So
looks like both of these guys are those unorthodox style wrestlers where they're going to flop around until they can create a scramble, but they're good at it. I say flop around like they don't know what they're doing, but these guys with that unorthodox style, they do know what they're doing.
Well, so much has changed in the 20 years since we've been on the mat. I mean, guys before we were fighting the hands, fighting against the pressure. Now they're going to the pressure and rolling back into it. So there is no change of control. You can't tell who has who and where they're at until...
If we would have tried what Peacock just did, Gaffner would have yelled at us and probably made us run or something.
He probably would have done both. In fact, I think he did. So,
but now that's how a lot of guys wrestle. You're right. It's just a change of style.
A change of style, a change of comfortability too when you get out there and get on the mat. They know where they're at and they can feel that pressure coming in. And it's who's good at the scramble and who's good at coming out on top to score those points.
Both guys trying to shoot through a pretty tight tie-up, and you can be as unorthodox as you want, but that doesn't typically work.
There's not enough space there to get in there to score. It's a little bit dangerous too to go in there on a shot when you're that tied up that you get out of position and end up getting tossed to your back. Both of these 2 wrestlers out here, they move really well. They look like they're familiar with putting somebody on their back. So it's going to be one of those matches, a close match right now at 2-1. So we have 25 seconds left in the first. Nice little snatch. He's got that single leg up, reverse kick. He's got to get control, and that's exactly what we were talking about there. He'll fight that. He'll just hop around there until a move's made. He's not stalling.
Patient.
Drive across that double drive. This is gonna result in no score. So,
Peacock took that little snatch single. It looked from here like he was in a Russian arm tie, and the fact that he was able to get to that single, I was kind of surprised. But he didn't finish it. That's unfortunate. It was a great shot.
It was a great shot, and it's so hard to finish now with the way they were. If you take a look at Bruce, he was just as comfortable standing there bouncing around on one leg. Now he's going to take down to start the second period. Peacock's going to go back, drive back to the leg. Now it looks like Bruce's strategy off the start is just to let Peacock get a little bit out of position.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened, and he gets some one-point escape. What Peacock does have going for him right now, he's got a minute 2. Oh,
that was a nice little duck.
Had a minute 2 an advantage, and that was a real nice duck. Got him out of position. We're going to go for a little injury time.
Peacock's just got to be careful on top. He lifted that leg. It looked like he wanted to apply a lot of pressure down on his opponent. As he kind of dove in there, he actually got himself high there.
And that looks exactly like what Bruce was real comfortable doing there, letting him get out of position to be able to come back in and get those points. Now, whoa.
Man.
You have to put the man down with control. We're going to call that a illegal slam. That's going to result in a point for Peacock.
Brought him down with authority.
He
doesn't like the call, but it's the right call.
It was the right call. Tyler Bruce looks like he's a horse.
He is a horse.
If you can pick a man up off from his belly and put him right to his back like that with as much authority as he did, it's
well, when he got Peacock off the ground, he really didn't have to force all that. I mean, you put him down a little bit more gently. I can't believe I just said gently, but
well, he just did it again, and this is exactly what you were talking about.
But a lot of times when you bring him down that hard, the guy's momentum will take him off his back.
Will take him all the way over. Now Bruce, being he's the force he is on top, has that half and he has it deep. So Peacock's going to have to get moving off the bottom because this does not look like where he wants
Bruce
to be.
has found another gear on top.
He did. No, staying down on your hips like that for Jason is not where he's going to want to stay. He's got that arm bar across the back. Bruce is going to sink the leg in across body. He's got to keep it straight, keep it legal. He takes it forward. There it is. It'll be potentially dangerous.
And I believe in high school he would have had to leave that hammerlock on his opponent's back.
You cannot take it off the back. So again, that's another one of the rule differences in college. Is that
Peacock's going to want to get out from underneath this guy.
No, you're not. Yeah, he's definitely not going to want to stay down there. He's going to have to be a little explosive off the bottom. Right here, he's good. Now, what Bruce is doing is the same thing. He'll do a lift. Peacock's doing a good job of hooking that leg, and there it is. He's got to be careful. He's jerking him right over to his back that way.
Just a claw ride across his chest. When he lifts him, he puts him on his back, or he pulls him down with that claw, and he's real close to scoring back points.
Well, he runs it across the body, and elevates that Turk. If he elevated that leg a little bit more on when he set him down, Jason would be in a little trouble. Right here, he's in some trouble too.
Yeah, he is. That was an inside trip.
Saved by the clock. That was a rough period there for Jason. Match is now 4-3. Jason's going to take neutral.
I'd like to see him. You know they're going to end up in that tie. I'd like to see that pass by that he did there in the first period.
It really worked well when he went out there and did the pass by. Now he's reaching. He's running a little sluggish. Of course, being underneath that monster for that long is going to be tough on him. There's a nice duck again. He's going to lift and put him back down on the mat. So another takedown there for Bruce. And Jason's going to have to come off the bottom a little bit if he wants to win this match. Being underneath that big monster from Niagara is going to be tough to do.
Coach Gaffner's joined us up at the table. Now he's abandoning us. He was here long enough to tell us that 149 and 157 are strong suits for Niagara.
And that's shown evident from the start of the match where he was able to pick Jason up and put him right down to his back like that.
We always welcome Coach up to the table just because he's so much bigger and meaner than us. We have to welcome him.
The man, the myth, the legend that he is. Looks like being underneath being underneath Tyler Bruce, so Niagara's taking its toll a little bit on Jason. He's having a hard time getting his hips off the mat, but he's going to have to get his hips off and clear and score.
Are we in bonus points right now? No.
No, right now, no. It's still 6-3. He's got a riding time. He's got to be careful to take that across the back and not forward. Jason's doing a nice job. Square up with him. Gets his 1 point. Now he's going to have to go to work. He's not out of this match yet.
Let's see him stop reaching.
He's going to try to catch his breath a little bit there.
Right. Not going to generate a lot of offense with your hands on your knees, but that's easy to say up here. I'm not breathing hard.
No, that's right. And with the score being 1-2, in effect 7-4, he's still well within the match. He's just going to have to go out there and get that. We're down to the winding, and there he's stalling a little bit. Jason's got stalling. That's a takedown, so he gave up the 1 point penalty and the 2 takedown, and we're back in 10 seconds left in the match.
Anybody finishes to the mat the way that Mr. Bruce does, I'm going to call him Mr. Bruce.
I think that's a good call. So the Thunderwolves show their power a little bit on this match, winning the match for Niagara. And I think we'll go ahead and take a little break here for the Jayhawks. 2, 4, 6. We have 8, 9. The score is 10. 10-4 that last match, giving them another 3. So the score is 15-6 after 5, and we'll go ahead and take a little break.
And we're back. Looks like we have a contact lens timeout just in the nick of time.
We're at 165 pounds now for here tonight. We have the Muskegon Community College Jayhawks wrestling the Niagara Thunderwolves. Right now, after 5 matches, the score is 15-6. At 165 pounds, we have Lucas Gilmore for the Jayhawks, and he's wrestling Mike Carson for the Thunderwolves. Now, after talking to Coach Gaffner, who just visited us here for a little bit, we found out that some of the strong wrestlers here are in the middle weight classes for Niagara.
Nice single leg.
That was a nice single leg there by Lucas Gilmore of the Jayhawks in the gold and yellow. And he'll get his 2 takedown for the first takedown of the night for him. He's going to work that Turk right here. He's working on a near fall. So
Jayhawk legend Chad Kick
just joined us up at the table as
knocked over 2 tables, getting up to the table.
As Lucas Gilmore just scored up another 3 points near fall, making the match score 5-0.
Is he wrestling Carson?
He's wrestling Mike Carson for the Thunderwolves tonight. Carson's going to have to move his way up if he wants to win this match. Gilmore keeping him down, riding the cross-body wrist ride. Well in control, 1:30 into this match.
He wants that Turk again. Looks like he got it.
He's got it, and there's some near fall. Right now he's sitting at 2 near fall, I believe.
Trying to rotate that elbow around over his head, looking for something a little bit more tight.
There it is. It's a 3 near fall.
That's a good start.
That's a good start for Lucas. He jumps out to an 8-0 lead right off the get-go.
You keep trying to run that Turk?
I would keep going. Go with what you got you there is what I say. So he'll drop down on that leg. He's going to have to get it out in front, get him back to the mat. Oh, didn't even have to trip. Stays with the ankle.
He has those long arms. He can reach to the head.
Reach a head and
not
ankle
get
at the
himself
same
out of
time.
position.
Nice cross face coming
Well, he's
across.
got a bundle going.
He's going to elevate that up. Elevate that up and try to get the man to his back. There he does. He elevates it, and there's
He's
his
got
near
the bundle
fall.
this time with the Turk. They lost it.
He lost the bundle. He's staying on that Turk, though. He's got him back.
He's close.
There it
Got him.
is. And so 2 minutes, 24 seconds into that first period, Lucas Gilmore of the Jayhawks scores a foul over Mike Carson from Niagara.
Maybe that'll get things turned around a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of hit a flat spot there, running out with 2 losses. But jumping out to a 21-6 lead for the overall score of the match right now is going to bring us into 174. At 174 pounds for the Jayhawks, we have freshman Joe Sika, another local wrestler, wrestling from Whitehall, Michigan. And for the Niagara Thunderwolves, looks like we have Cedric Stevens. Sika again in the golden yellow. Stevens from Niagara in the multi-blue.
Joe in on that single leg. Lifts him.
We have a couple freshmen facing off here tonight with Cedric Stevens from
Sika in deep on that single leg, converted it to a double. I thought he was going to run out of room over there against the bleachers, but it
looks like
scored with it.
The official kept him off the wall a little bit, and he's got his 2 takedown. Yep, there he's going to blow that whistle and get him back to the center.
Home court advantage knowing where that wall is.
No, we're there playing the wall. Playing the wall. Run your feet up the fence and knock it down, baby. So that's what we got going tonight for Sika. Is starting out on top position.
I think Sika might have brought the whole town of Whitehall with him. Well, Cooper too.
Well,
Logan Morningstar.
We have three Vikings on the mat tonight for the Jayhawks. Makes it a little hometown advantage. Got a couple from Reese Puffer with the Stenberg boys. Again,
really
out here.
Wants that inside cradle. I want to see him get himself out of position trying to force that.
Well, luckily they went out of bounds there a little bit, or luckily or not, but we had Niagara working on a little Granby Peterson type situation. Score still 2-0. As Sika takes his top position. He does get a little high. He's still behind that foot, so it's got out of position and gives up the 1 takedown.
On top, instead of staying under those arms, he's coming out.
Yeah, but he comes back in on that shot, gets a 2 takedown.
I guess when you have a double leg like that, you don't mind getting out of position on top.
You get out of position on top and come in for a double. And scores another 2. Score 4-1.
I like to see him stay under his opponent's arms on top. I know he wants that cradle, but he's giving up so much position.
Well, he's going to want to develop that top position a little bit, and it's going to work out well for him. You score those advantage bonus points. Staying on top, let him catch his wind a little. He's got, like you said, stay underneath those arms, run it across, run the spiral, cross body ride. He's doing well. I say to get out of position, but you know when you're as tall as he is and the other guy balls up, it's hard to stay back behind there. He's working for that cradle. He's going to drop that arm over, and they're going to give up the 1-point escape.
With as long as Joe's arms are, I think he'd be pretty good at bundles from that cross wrist. There's nowhere his opponent could hide his far arm.
At
Nice
least
counter.
snap down, spin behind, just gives it 2. Of course, running it the way he is and running that wrist ride the way he does, I know Whitehall likes to run a lot of those tilts. It would probably behoove him to run a few more cheap points in there if he can.
Cheap.
Cheap.
Nothing cheap about a three-pointer.
Glad you picked up on that.
They're beautiful. The spectators love those tilts. Everybody loves those tilts.
Everybody loves those points coming at you 2 and 3 at a time. So to start the second period, we have a score of 6-2. Jayhawks are going to defer. Niagara's going to choose down. So we're 6 matches in tonight. Score for Jayhawks 21, the Niagara Thunderwolves 6. Starting the second period of the 174-pound match. With an escape for Shane Curry. Joe Sika is leading the match right now. His score is 6-3. Sika snap, working that head, working that slide by.
Pretty physical slide by there.
That was a physical slide by him. He moved his feet just a little bit. He spun behind. He maybe score off it. But if nothing else, he made his presence known by where he was at.
Exactly. If I knew Joe personally, I might remind him that the 3 points that his opponents has all came off those cradles.
All came off the cradles, controlling that wrist, putting it on the other side of your head, and all it was a positioning change.
Just being patient on top.
He's
forcing that cradle. I'd like to see that double leg. There it is.
There it is. You asked for it, and there it is. Stay back. There's 2.
You know, in high school, Joe could score with that double leg, and I see at this level he can score with a double leg. I don't see a setup there, but he always gets it.
Well, when you look at Joe, he's tall, he's physical, he's strong. He's able to get away with a little bit more of that than what maybe
you
a
and
lot
I
of
could get away with.
You got it.
That double leg is it's powerful.
He's one of those guys that get his hands behind the back of your knees and he just reels it in, picks it up and scores this too.
He's one of those guys that gets his hand behind your knees and you can't believe they're behind your knees because he's so far away.
As far as what's this guy doing without a setup, reaching back there behind my knees like that? Looked like he's pretty comfortable taking him down, so we'll see another double. Shane Curry from Niagara is going to work a little bit on the head too. Maybe get a little physical himself.
Oh, jeez. He does that pass by with authority.
He does do that. Now, you know what Joe would help Joe in these matches is if he'd show up a little closer to weight.
14 pounds in a day and a half is too much?
You know, it's just saying that a pound a day might be the limit he might want to stay at for a while.
Joe may have discovered that there's an Arby's over on Apple Avenue.
There used to be 5 for $5, if I remember correctly. 5 roast beef sandwiches for $5.
But the price has gone up. It's 5 for $6 now. You'd think he'd keep his weight a little closer.
Yeah, you would think so.
Well, we'll see if that last-minute weight cut, if he can still come off the bottom.
Well, here he is. He started that off there. A little flat off the whistle. He's going to have to control that wrist. Run the spiral. Face him. Oh. Curry's working on scoring some big points as he keeps this in here. Keeps that leg hook, tightens that up. Running what they call a clarion. Snap back chin whip. Sika's still underneath them, and they're out of bounds.
Did we mention local Jayhawk legend Chad Kicks in the building tonight?
I think if we didn't, we should have. Didn't he flip over a couple tables getting here?
He did flip over some tables. And now he's critiquing our work. Can you still take him?
Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn. I might have him by a couple pounds.
He still looks fit. How do you do that?
I don't know. His wife doesn't cook. Sika's going to be comfortable with his lead here on the bottom.
Maybe too comfortable.
Maybe too comfortable. He's got Coach Brunger in the corner. And there's a warning for stalling. Here's where those 5 for 5 come into effect.
5 for 5. Dragging it back into the middle of the mat. Want to see him finish strong, though.
Finish strong. We got 46 seconds left in the match here. There he goes, to his feet.
That's it.
That's what he needed. Get to stand up, gets his one.
Attaboy. Looks like he might have found a second win. There's his double leg.
There's his double, reel it in. Reels it in. Oh.
Hello.
He got a little bit out of position there. Curry tried in for a splato and gets a 2 takedown.
Looked like he tried to step up and trip and didn't either bring his hips with him or it was too big of a reach.
We have the official going to let him wrestle there on the out of bounds line. And there's 12 seconds left in the match.
What's the score?
I don't think there's bonus. There's 2 fours. It's 6-2. There was 8-4. It's 9-7 right now. And I can't tell if there's advantage time or not. I'm thinking that advantage time has been given away. And Sika's going to come to his feet and get the win. And that's how it ends up. We end up with a score of 9-6. Add another 3 points for the Jayhawks. Putting the total team score to 24-6 after 174 pound match. So after 7, it's 24-6, brings us to 184 pounds. We have Stephen Malloy for the Jayhawks. And we have Cedric Stevens for the Thunderwolves.
I believe I was calling the last Thunderwolf Cedric Stevens, but I think you're right. I think that was my mistake. It wouldn't be yours.
No, absolutely not.
What's a Thunderwolf?
I'm not really sure. Mr. Kick, do you know what a Thunderwolf is?
A Thunderwolf? You know what a Thunderwolf is?
I don't know, but evidently they're from Niagara, New York.
We don't have Thunderwolves in West Michigan.
Stephen Malloy is a freshman from Morley Stanwood. He's a 2-time state champion. Stephen's going to be taking on Cedric Stevens, freshman
Behind him.
from Niagara, and there's his 2 takedown.
Not exactly sure what happened there. Stevens just kind of found himself behind, lifted, and dumped him.
And now he's going to cut him loose for 1, score 2-1. Nice drag.
Got into that drag from a failed double leg. Like to be able to finish that.
Looks like Cedric's got his hands locked in there on the singles. Takes it out of bounds. That was a nice counter of that drag for Cedric.
Speaking of long arms.
Speaking of long arms, exactly. How's that guy got the back of my leg? Oh. We have Stevens was working that Russian tie. Cedric about made him pay for that. He's back on the Russian. Slide it by. He's trying to slide it by down and drop down into a single.
How close are we to having the team score on ice? Is that
right now? Right now it'd be end at 24-24, but the only way that would happen, Niagara would win because they'd have more falls. So at best it ends up 24, or at worst I should say, it ends up 24-24. That'd be saying a lot, knowing that what the Jayhawks have coming up if Niagara come out with 3 falls in a row. Especially since Steve's in here on a double again, they're out of bounds. We start the last minute here of the first round.
I'd like to see Mallory try one of those double legs in the middle of the mat. He's almost scored twice going off the side or off the edge.
Yeah, he's moved himself right on the edge and taking those double leg shots. It's kind of worked in that way that he runs that rush and tries to drive it back inside. And there's a double. Nice double for Malloy. There's his 2. Got that big slam double, making the score 4-1.
That's a pretty impressive double with all that. I mean, that's a lot of defense Stevens has with as long as his arms are.
And as tall as he is.
To get through, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And that was a nice double. And he's going to cut him loose there for 1. 4-2.
Pretty entertaining group of young wrestlers the Jayhawks have. I mean, they're explosive. They like to score points. They don't hang around on the mat.
Well, this is going to be a big win for the Jayhawks. Has come out this way because Niagara coming in at 10th ranked in the nation. Jayhawks are no slouches at 19 ranked, but they've come in and they've made a statement.
Yeah, they have. The matches that the Jayhawks have won have been pretty dominant fashion.
Coach Brunger and Coach Cheatham will have to be pretty happy with the performance the guys are putting up thus far.
There's an escape for Stevens and a quick high crotch. Boy,
nice,
oh boy.
Nice high crotch, and there's his 2.
Again, speaking of long arms, he hit that one a little ways away, but that was quick. That was quicker than I thought he'd be able to hit it.
He can reach him from the other side of that 28-foot circle.
Well, you better watch the bundles with a guy with arms that long.
Big
arms. That's what he's looking for right now.
Bundles and cradles. You got to keep that head away from the knee and come to his feet. There's still some time left in this match, in this period, to score some points. Malloy's got to work his way up, gain some control, keep his head off the mat there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hang around on bottom against Stevens. Looks like he's coming up now, but there's a cradle coming in.
Well, that's what happens. You get those guys that are that long and tall. You got to be careful on how you come to your feet. You got to bring your hips with you.
Well, and he's doing the same move that Sika was doing in the last match, but he's doing it from a place of control. I mean, he's really controlling Mallory before he tries that far side cradle.
Well, Sika was doing that. It was coming across. He was coming on an inside cradle, too, where he was losing position. But when he was coming on the far side, the bottom man would take that hand, put it outside, and face him. That's not what Malloy's doing here. He's going to have to control that wrist. You have to keep him from locking those cradles up, bundle them all up underneath. That's going to be the end of the first period with the score tied up, 4-4. Jayhawks choice.
He's going to go neutral, and I don't blame him. I think he was living dangerously on bottom there.
And here he goes.
And cradles.
No sooner you say that, than he goes down.
Oh, I say that. Coach Brunger was telling him to go neutral.
He feels he can get away, so if he explodes off the bottom here, like you said before, he's got to be careful how he comes up. Cedric's running that cross face, and he's controlling that match and how he comes up.
He didn't Stevens very many chances at that cradle.
And there it is. And there's the fall. So 3 minutes, 36 seconds in the match. The Thunderwolves score their first fall of the night.
I'd like to be in the gym the next time Mallory and Stevens wrestle. I think that, just to Malloy. The next time Malloy and Stevens wrestle, I think just a minor adjustment, and Malloy wins that match.
Well, he came out and he had the first points. He scored the takedown. He scored another takedown. Then he got underneath him and wasn't coming out like he could or like he should have. He's got to do some more wrist control. He's letting Cedric do a lot of the movement, a lot of the control on top there.
As Malloy walked off, Coach Brunger caught him. They had just a quick conversation, and it almost looked like Mark was talking to him about the rationale about going neutral rather than down. And Malloy nodded like he understood it. I think that's he just needs to stay out from underneath that guy, and he beats him.
It's a growing experience, a learning experience for him. It's his first college match.
Yep.
There's definitely a difference, like we talked about before. So the match score now is 24-12. Going into 197 pounds, we have Chad Max for the Jayhawks. And he will be going against Max Atone for the Niagara Thunderwolves. So Chad Max of the Jayhawks against Max Atone for the Thunderwolves at 197 pounds.
Well, we got to have one of the next two. Max has Mr. Antone out tattooed. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad. Usually, I think it's a good sign.
Good sign. You got to be tough if you're wearing that many tattoos. Max Atone, the sophomore from Niagara Wheatfield.
Oh, he's in. Little scramble.
Little scramble.
Boy, that was close to back points.
There we go, and the Jayhawk comes out on top.
There.
That was a nice job, nice scramble there from Max. Chad's from Heartland, state qualifier. He's a freshman. He's going against, like I said, Max Atone, the sophomore. Chad used to wrestle for an old Jayhawk.
Todd Cheney. So we just need a win out of one of these next two matches, and we put it on ice. I'm thinking Coach Brunger would like to see a little more than that. We're controlling this match right here fairly well. Atone from Niagara is going to have to come off the bottom here. There he goes, starting to move. Chad's got the wing, running up to the outside. He's going to have to post or control the other side to be able to turn him. Either run, there's the bar. So he's got the bar, now he's going to start running that wing around. Pretty good series he's got locked up there.
Sometimes
plenty of time.
He's still got it. He's still got it. There he goes. Switches off to a half. Oh, he's going to switch to a Turk. He'd stick that half and stay perpendicular on him. There it is.
Get him.
There it is.
Oh.
Still got control. He's got a reverse head. Got a reverse headlock on him.
He's getting close.
It's hard for him to control that other far shoulder. Now it's harder for him to control the near shoulder. So.
I don't know what he has there besides just an arm. I thought initially he had an arm and a head and an arm.
Well, and there's his 3 points near fall. So far, Chad's well in control of the match. Chad in the blue and gold for the Jayhawks. Wrestling Max Atone in the multi-blue. That's the end of the first period. Score 5-0. And Niagara's going to go down. Oh, I'm sorry. Chad's going to go down.
You want a lot of movement out of Chad here. He's controlling the match. It looks like, oh, I thought he was going to cut him, but he's not. He's right to the.
He's sliding across. Is he trying to run a 3/4? Yeah,
it looked like it. Just a 3/4 Nelson right off the whistle.
Right off the whistle, but he forgot the leg. It's going to be tough to turn Chad without that. Now he's Max Tone's going to have to get behind there if he wants to turn that. Right now he's just in a stalemate position, really. Nobody's going to really score from this spot. If nothing else, it'll be a stalemate.
He's chasing that ankle, but Max is doing a nice job of sitting away from it. As long as he can control his own ankle, Max is pretty safe there.
Yeah, he is. He's going to break that grip. He could score from here. It's, of course, easier said than done, but just keep facing him. Don't let him hook that ankle.
You don't want to stay flat. Again, a nice job of sitting away from that.
And there's our stalemate.
I'll bet you a nickel that Tone goes right back to that same move. Right off the whistle.
I'm going to say no bet on this. He's going to say he's going to cut. He's going to choose for the optional start and slide right back. He attempted.
He did attempt.
He attempted.
Nickel.
Half-hearted. Still results in Chad getting a 1-point escape. Making the match score right now 6-0.
That was a nice high crotch try by a Tone.
It was. He got in there, but then he stayed there.
He stayed there.
Chad was just able to spin behind, get the 2 takedown. After Tone did all that work getting in, he stayed down there with his hands on the mat. It really wasn't that hard of a takedown for Chad to get.
Tilt.
There's your tilt. He's going to sink that leg in. Oh, he's just teasing me. So to start the third period, we started that period and Max Tone chose up. That was why it was threw me off a little bit.
Those guys confusing you?
It was confusing me. And then now Chad Max is going to choose down.
You going to try that move the third time?
Right here? No, he didn't. He didn't. Lost your nickel. And instead he's going to sit out and get his 1-point escape. Chad Max really well in control of the match right now.
There's a nice hit. He got to the single.
What's he holding on to? Is he trying to hold the head?
I think
There's his 2 takedowns.
Oh, boy. They're rolling around now. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not where he wants to be. There's 2 reversal.
I glanced down thinking that was a takedown. Next thing I knew, I looked up and there was a scramble going on. We'll have to go back and check the tape to see what happened.
Check the tape. Check the tape, ladies and gentlemen. Now Chad definitely doesn't want to stay down there. He's been in control of this match. You're allowed to get out of position once or twice as long as it doesn't result in your shoulders on the mat.
Right. But you want to finish this match strong.
We want to score some bonus points. Let's make a statement here for the Jayhawks. So far, it looks like Chad's going to be comfortable with that lead. We have a Viking, Logan Morningstar, getting his head right in the way of my scoreboard.
He has a big head. I mean, he might cover the whole scoreboard.
He does. 30 seconds left in the match. There's your halfway 3/4, whatever you want to call it. You get your nickel back.
I bet he pinned some kids in high school with that move.
Not like that.
Not like that, he didn't.
It's going to be tough to pin somebody without having that leg.
At the college level, I think he's going to need another pinning combination.
He may need another pinning combination. He definitely will in this gym today and tomorrow. Caution, false start. That's the first false start we've seen tonight, too, isn't it?
First one.
That's not too bad. 9 matches in.
Well,
He's back on the head. Oh, take an elbow to the chin.
Speaking of bad position.
There you go.
He was going for all the marbles with whatever that was.
There's his 2 reversal. And we're in short time on the match, and that's 5, 8, 9.
And the bonus points.
13 and plus 1. So that's 14-2. That's a nice win for Chad Max and the Jayhawks.
Chad Max needs to find a weight room. Get some shoulders on.
I know. He's got to work
very
out.
Strong at all. I wonder if the guys watch these tapes.
I don't know. He eats a dozen eggs, eats 3 steaks a day. I don't know. I bet you find out. Well, that adds another 4 points there for the Jayhawks, bringing our grand total so far to 28-12. And there's our solid victory.
That is a solid victory over the number 10 ranked Niagara
Thunderwolves. Now wrestling at heavyweight for the Jayhawks is the Viking that I just mentioned just previously, the Logan Morningstar. And for the Thunderwolves, we have El Shadi Van Hosen.
El Shadi Van Hosen.
Now, El Shadi Van Hosen is from Columbia. He's a 2-time sectional champ out of New York, 2-time state placer from New York. Very solid wrestler.
Is that a 3-time National High School Coaches Association All-American I see on there?
He moves like it too. He's a tough wrestler.
That's credentials.
Those are credentials. Logan's doing a good job going at him. Like I said, Logan, the freshman out of Whitehall, 2-time state placer. He's going to get a stalling call. You got to be moving forward here in college or they're going to throw that wrist up quick.
I coached Logan in middle school, and I've told Logan this. If you'd have told me when he was in middle school that he would have won, if he'd have been an all-stater and then wrestled in college, I would have laughed. He has come so far in his wrestling career. It's incredible. Gives up a takedown there, but
well, he's not just wrestling at college. He's wrestling for one of the premier community colleges in the nation.
Absolutely. But he's worked and turned himself into just a terrific wrestler.
He is a good wrestler, and you watch him. Every time you watch him, you tell he's learned a little bit. He's gotten a little bit better.
Yep.
He needs to come off the bottom a little bit in this particular match, but nothing that's too detrimental to what he has going on.
Well, Logan finds himself in a tough spot in college. There's no weight class between 197 and 285. There isn't a 215. So he's looking at the difference between him and Mr. Van Hosen.
Yeah,
pretty big size differential there. He's going to have to find his spot and find his style that's going to work with these guys that are going to be a lot bigger than him.
That does make it a little more difficult. Historically, there's always been that big gap between 97 all the way up to 285 pounds to cap off in college. So you can wrestle some pretty big men when it comes right down to it. But in doing that, he is going to have to come off his hips, come off the bottom.
He lost his arm there in that hammerlock. Now he has it back. Now he can get moving off the bottom now that he has both hands.
Keep his head up. He's got to get that chin off the mat, get his hips off the mat, create some space and go.
If he's going to get off the bottom, he's going to have to do it off the whistle, because once Van Hosen stops those hips, that guy's a load.
He is a load. He's a man, and like you said, his credentials aren't anything to shake a stick at.
That's good movement.
He's a good wrestler. Logan's doing a fine job. Sometimes it's easy to forget that he's a freshman wrestling his first college match. After we've come in and done so well with so many freshmen so far today. This is a good showing for the Jayhawks. He's going to choose down, but in choosing down, he's got to explode off the bottom.
I think that little smash back that he did right at the end of the last period, maybe he felt like he could create some space there. Once he gets into that smash back position, he's got to have a lot of movement.
He's got to keep moving. Can't just stop after it. So here we are tonight for everybody who's looked over and seen all the purple in the gym and seen all the Jayhawks wearing purple. This again is in honor and support of Rick Stenberg, a local wrestler. He's a father of two Jayhawk wrestlers currently, and battling pancreatic cancer. So everybody's running a little purple out tonight, not to support the Lynx from Lincoln, but to support Rick in his fight against cancer and all those who are fighting pancreatic cancer. So, Rick, we wish you the best and good luck in your battle. Just know that you and all the wrestling community are behind you. Logan's still down there on bottom. He's going to have to move off that whistle. He's going to have to move, period, but easiest to move off the whistle to score these points, to get away.
Well, he can't stay flat where he is, and he lost his arm again to that hammer lock.
Now, he's been doing a good job not getting scored on, but it's just a matter of time with a big guy like who he's wrestling here,
right,
with Al Shadi, before it becomes a stress and a wear and tear on your joints, where you're going to want to be off the bottom.
We've seen smashbacks. We've seen some other stuff. I wonder, maybe just go with a straight stand-up.
Smashbacks, couple short sits. He can do it. He's got the talent. He's just got to. There it is. He leaves his arm back, and that's going to be where that is going to catch up with him. You're able to get away with a lot of those things in high school, but here in college, these guys are going to grab hold of that arm and just about get away before they just suck you right back underneath. Now he's going to have to get to his base. There he goes. Get his hips underneath him. Get his head off the mat. Create the space. We're short time in here now in the second period. The score is still close enough to where he's still in the match. It's still 2-0. He's got a 1-point disadvantage with riding time that he can get back.
He's still battling. He's still getting his head up, trying to bring his hips up.
So here we go. Now this time, Van Hosen's going to take bottom.
Van Hosen's breathing hard. I'm not saying that he's winded, but he's working. Morningstar still, he looks like he's in pretty good shape. There's a lot of fight still left in Morningstar.
Well, and that's saying something, being underneath that big guy for almost 4 minutes the way he was. There's a 1-point escape. That makes the match score right now 3-0. 4-0 in effect with the riding time. We have Morningstar wearing the gold-blue singlet. And then we have El Shadi Van Hosen wearing the multi-blue colored singlet of the Niagara Thunderwolves. The overall team score right now is 28-12 after 9 matches. This being the final match of the bout, or final bout of the match.
Star's still moving forward. He's still battling.
He's still going. It's definitely not his problem. Definitely is his win. He's still, he's He's almost 7 minutes in now. He's with 30 seconds left in the match. He's 6.5 minutes in.
Got a stalling
He got
call.
the stalling call.
Keep pushing the action.
So he's fighting. He's battling for it. I have a feeling that Van Hosen knows that he's stalling. Got his head. He's got his hands in the rib cage. Got his head buried in the neck.
Star's trying to talk himself into another one from Mr. Official.
I don't think Eric's going to give that one to him, even though he probably should. He might give him one here right at the end.
One here. He's got to give one there.
So, and that's match.
That's the match.
So that's not a bad match there for Logan Morningstar of the Jayhawks, putting the overall team score at 28-15.
Oh, we just got off to such a great start. Dodgens versus Carberry. Dodgens won 9-4, almost scored some bonus points, but then the next two matches, wow, you talk about a buzzsaw for the Jayhawks. Cooper and Stenberg, both of them with pins. They look great.
Yeah, they sure did. Coming in for the night, coming in like the way they did with putting up 6 on the board for the Jayhawks, that was huge.
The Peacock brothers ran into the strong points of the Niagara lineup. They both lost tough matches. Got back on pace at 165 with a pin by Lucas Gilmore.
And then another win again at 174 for Joe Seek, again a 9-6 victory over Shane Curry of Niagara.
And then Malloy scoring the pin at 336 over Cedric Stevens, and that's the one that put the match on ice. Chad Max won convincing style, 14-2 over Max Antone. And then Morningstar wrestled a good match, wrestled the whole match against a guy quite a bit bigger than him. But, man, the Jayhawks off to a good start.
Oh, man, Coach Brunger has to be pretty pleased with coming in at ranked 19, going against the number 10 ranked Thunderwolves from Niagara, and pulling off a convincing win at 28-15.
Number 10 down, 9 to go.
9 to go, our next match against Triton.